We are now joined by Curt Lawson, Deputy Chief for West Bloomfield Police Department. Curt, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Well, thank you.
As the snow has canceled school and caused many businesses in Greater West Bloomfield to close, Curt, what type of precautions are the police department taking to ensure that those who are out on the roads are staying safe?
Well, like you, we're continually monitoring the weather. We're always going on different stations, different meteorologists to see what they have to say about the upcoming weather. Thankfully, in this snowstorm, it's been a little bit less than they predicted, so that's a good thing. But the police department, we routinely upstaff our patrol shifts, we upstaff our communication center. Anytime that we know there's severe weather or there's a major event, we're going to make sure we're fully staffed. We put our officers strategically placed throughout the township to make sure that we can monitor those road conditions and that we can quickly get to our residents and commuters as quickly as possible to give them the help that they need. So we continue to kind of lean on our partnerships with the Oakland County Road Commission, the West Bloomfield Fire Department, to make sure that the roads stay clear, that they stay safe. But when the roads are icy, like we've seen this morning, we encourage motorists whenever possible just to stay home. And we've seen that throughout yesterday and today. The traffic volumes are much lower than you'd expect on a normal day.
Curt, for those who do decide to brave those tough driving conditions this morning and throughout today, do you have any advice for them or things that you've seen in accidents either yesterday or in previous snowy conditions that drivers can do to avoid an accident?
Sure. And like I said, we've gotten very lucky with individuals staying home the last couple of days, and we've seen a lower number of traffic crashes than we'd actually expect with the road conditions like they are. But just to remember, if there's a winter advisory or you look on our social media sites here at the police department and we're telling you that the roads are icy, but you have to go out, check your vehicle, make sure that your windshield fluid is full. Check your tire treads, make sure you got a nice tread on those tires, that you have plenty of gas. And think about what happens if you do get stranded, even if it's for a short time. Maybe have a blanket in the car, a hat, especially for me, if you have no hair, gloves, and don't forget to have a fully charged cell phone.
Curt, for your officers that are out keeping West Bloomfield safe today and yesterday, obviously you guys are going to be making sure that you're getting to an accident or a problem as quick as possible, but what are they doing to make sure that they are staying safe on the roads and as well with those snowy conditions?
Well, what we always tell our officers is they're not going to be able to help anyone unless they get there safely. So it's the same thing we tell our residents and the public. You need to drive at a safe speed. Keep plenty of distance between your vehicle and the vehicle in front of you. You never know when you'll run into black ice, so you want plenty of time to be able to stop before you hit that car in front of you, right? So we encourage our officers to make sure there's no vision obstructions, get all the snow off their windshield and off their taillights. And then we usually send 2 officers to every scene. So we have a backup officers and they can kind of watch each other's back regarding traffic and things like that. So our number one priority here at the West Bloomfield Police Department is our officer safety, and obviously we want to make sure they're safe so they can help the community.
Curt, we also talked to you previously about that text 911 feature that the police department has enacted here in West Bloomfield. Could you give us an update about how that has been working in the community so far?
So text to 911 has been a fantastic tool for us. Right now, it has not been used a whole lot, but it's one of those things that's available to our residents. If they can't speak over the phone safely, whether it's a medical emergency or there's a crime in progress, and they'd like to text to our dispatch center, we're going to immediately get an alert and we're going to be texting back. And then if you don't even speak English, we're able to translate that into whatever language you speak. We live in a very diverse community here, so we want to do whatever we can to effectively communicate with our residents. One of the things that I'd like to say is that the township has decided to invest heavily within our communication center. We're going to be rebuilding that center over the next year, and I believe we're going to have one of the best communication centers in Oakland County.
Curt, with that text to 911 addition that you guys have implemented here in West Bloomfield, how is that benefiting your officers in the police department with that new feature?
Well, it benefits all of us because as quick as we can receive the information, we can get help to our residents and to the community. So it's just another tool to effectively communicate. And I think in a lot of situations, communication is the key.
Curt, as we wrap up, is there anything else you would like to share either about staying safe on the roads during these winter conditions or anything else with updates in the police department?
Sure, just two quick reminders. Pet safety. We sometimes get calls, especially when it's really cold out, from neighbors that, people are leaving their pets out for an extended period of time. We just want to remind you that, just because your pet has fur doesn't mean that it can stay out in freezing temperatures for a long period of time. So make sure that your animal, whether it's a dog, a cat, whatever kind of pet you have, has plenty of food and water, and bring your pets inside so they can stay warm. Another thing that we've seen throughout the community over the last about month is we've seen an increase in the number of vehicles that have been broken into at night or entered if they're unlocked. So we encourage our residents to make sure they park in a garage, or they park in a lighted area, or they have a motion light near their vehicle. We've seen quite a few residents over the past maybe 2 years that have invested in cameras, and that's been great for us, so we can establish suspects and patterns and things like that. So just be aware that even though this is a very safe community, there's still people out there doing things that they shouldn't be doing. So do what you can to protect yourself.
Well, Curt, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.